Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic, and that is the emotion anger. It's often misunderstood, and a lot of people are pretty phobic of the emotion anger. We're going to talk about the biological and survival functions of the emotion, and we're going to discuss insights from my very favorite influence on emotion and mental health, and that's Miss Brené Brown. And her book, The Atlas of the Heart, is one of my very favorite resources on emotions. I highly recommend picking up that book. We're going to talk about the stigma around anger, and we're going to look at Jaak Panksepp's research on the spectrum of anger and share practical strategies for expressing anger in a healthy way. So let's get into it. A lot of people don't recognize that all emotion is actually biological, it's chemical. We don't get to choose our emotions any more than we get to choose our heartbeat, our blinking. Those things happen autonomically. And so when people say, just stop being so mad or just stop being so anxious, if only it were that easy, I would be sorely out of a job. So we're going to talk about the basics. Again, all emotion is predicated by a behavior, or all behavior rather is predicated by an emotion, and the emotion starts first. Anger is no different. It's a natural and necessary emotion, and it's evolved to help us survive. When we perceive threat, our body releases chemicals like adrenaline, cortisol, and it prepares us to fight or to flee. And this response can protect us from danger. It motivates us to address harmful situations, to stand up for ourselves or others who are being harmed. However, anger, it's not just about survival. It can also be a signal that something is wrong or unjust. And it will prompt us to take actions and advocate for ourselves and for others. Right now, we're seeing a lot of anger being expressed in things like the protests that are going on all over the country related to the ICE raids and the immigration changes and our current administration. And you're seeing people impassioned, and they're standing up for them, for those who can't stand up for themselves, and they're advocating and taking action to express the injustice that they perceive is going on. So we really want to not neglect anger. We want to allow it to be the powerful emotional motivator that it can be. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Brené Brown and one of my, like I said, my favorite book about emotion, and that's Atlas of the Heart. Brené talks about anger as an emotion that we feel when something gets in the way of a desired outcome or when we perceive injustice. She talks about and emphasizes that anger is powerful. It's a catalyst for change, but it has to be expressed constructively. One of the things that I tell my clients all the time is that anger that's above a 3 to a 5 on a scale of 0 to 10 is probably too big, and it's probably yours, and it's probably old. But also, if it's that big, our listener isn't going to take it in. We're going to end up creating a defense in our listener. Brené also discusses the importance of recognizing, naming our emotions. A lot of us have a pretty poor emotional vocabulary. And so if that's your situation, let's start with just watching the movie Inside Out. And there's two of those.